Hi, I am Mifty, co-founder of Heedify. In this video, I will walk you through our attendant console for Microsoft Teams. At Heedify, we really focus on making things easier, and that's exactly what our console does. It's built to help receptionists do their job faster, simpler, and with less stress, all while providing a truly intuitive experience within Microsoft Teams environment. In this presentation, we will focus on the feature and functionality of the Heedify Attendant Console for Microsoft Teams. You can find in the link below the Getting Started guide for the configuration and the technical side of the solution. Now, Heedify Attendant Console is built on top of Microsoft APIs. That's what makes it incredibly easy to set up. You will need less than 30 minutes to have a complete solution ready. A solution that will include, of course, the Attendant Console, so the interface and the Microsoft Teams app. But that will include also an advanced queuing system, an intelligent routing engine, call recording, and a very comprehensive call reporting. All that are part of the Heedify Attendant Console for Microsoft Teams. Being based on top of Microsoft APIs means also that all the feature and functionality of call management and contact management are being done within the Microsoft Teams environment. To get started, you simply navigate to agentconsole.heedify.io, and in the login screen, you simply use your Microsoft credential to log in. And I'm logged in now, and the very first time the Attendant Console will ask you for permission to use your audio devices. That's because it embeds a Teams voice client that will let the agent or the receptionist manage the calls completely within the Attendant Console. So all the information about contact, calendar, all the integration and feature are available within the same interface that will also handle the call management also. So no need to use the Teams client. I'll go ahead and give permission to use my audio devices. Now, to give an overview about the different panels available within the interface. On the side level of the interface, we'll find two main panels. The first one is about parked calls. So there I will see later if there is any call parked by my colleagues, so they can pick it and continue the management of that particular call. Then today I am assigned to the hash queue reception queue and the branch side reception queue. For every queue, you will find the agent that are member of this queue with their Teams presence, with their readiness within that queue. Then you will see actually in real time all the calls waiting in this particular queue. So I will go ahead and make myself in a coffee break or in an admin work for this particular queue, and will be focused today in the hash queue reception queue. On the top side of the interface, there is a KPIs, personal KPIs for the agent. So you will find the total calls of the day, the number of calls that an agent missed, the total duration of the communication, and if there is calls connected already. You will find also some settings available, so you can choose, of course, your devices that you will use here. You can define a template that agent can use to answer or to send a Teams message to contacts when he's handling a call from a customer. So we'll see this in action in a minute later in the video. On the right side of the interface, there is by default a view of all the call history of the queues I am assigned to. So for today, I am assigned to a couple of queues, so I can see what all the queues, that all the call history of the hash queue reception queue for every single entry of this call history. So we have a summary of what happened for that particular queue. So for this one, for example, we see that the customer called the flow called reception Paris. He been waiting for 10 seconds in the hash queue reception queue. So we have a communication duration, we have an information about the agent, and if there is any agent that declined, we'll see this also. So a very quick overview of what happened on that particular queue. Now, in the center of the interface, you will find two important panels. So the search panel, which is where we will be searching for contact, and this search happen in different areas. So it will be searching on Enterprise Directory, Microsoft Entra. It searches also on the personal contact of the receptionist. It searches on external contact, so we'll see how we can manage external contact and share them between agents. It searches also on organization contact, and it can also be integrated to search on external directory or in a CRM. So we'll probably cover this in a different video. So when we do search, we can use filter just to that can be very helpful actually for enterprise where directory have multiple entries, and if you are looking for someone in a particular department, for example. The next panel is about contacts. So by default, every agent will see his favorite contact listed with their presence, with some information from the directory like the job title, the department, the different phone number that are configured for every contact, and then a number of buttons in front of every contact. So those buttons are a way to give access very quickly within one click. That's what we target to do for every single action the receptionist do within the interface. So for example, if I'm looking for Benjamin, so I will see his calendar and how his agenda looks like for today in just one click. I have all the information required. I see if he's available, when he will be available, if potentially he's in a meeting, and then that will help me as a receptionist to manage the call. So either I decide to transfer the call to the person, or I share this information with the customer so that he can call him later. So by default, we mentioned that we have the view of those favorite contacts, which are mainly from the organization, with shortcuts to check the contact card, to send message using the template, to send an email, to check calendar, to call them over to using one of their phone number configured, to call them in Teams, or to assign some note to those contacts. Then you can notice also that I have here a reception contact sharing group with an icon here saying that this is a shared contact, and that's exactly what it does. So those are external contact, meaning that someone of my colleagues have already added these contacts and associated probably a note. So in this example here, we see that Alice left last Friday a comment saying that this contact tried multiple times to reach finance last Friday. So that can be very helpful for me to understand the context of the next call of this customer. Those external contacts are created and shared by receptionist. Now let me go ahead and show you how we manage call with Heedify Attendant Console from Microsoft Teams. So I will be calling my reception line using my mobile phone here, and so I'm in the welcome message now, and then we see the call coming to the queue. We recognize the contact. That's very important. So remember, I had a contact here called Alan Bark, so that's the phone number I'm using to do my tests here. We hear how much time the caller have been in the queue waiting. We see that this is blinking, meaning that we are trying to reach an agent. So I know while the call is ringing, the source of the call, and I'm connected to the customer now. So we have again the name of the contact, resolved which number the customer called. So that can be useful if I am a receptionist doing reception for a couple of lines, so I know from where this call is coming. So we have information about the call duration. We have a shortcut here to edit the contact card. Either I want to update the contact card with information like the email or the company, for example, or if I want to just leave another note for my colleague or for myself for later to manage this call. We can park the call, we can put the call on hold, I can manage, mute myself, and we can send the TMF. So there's a lot of options for the call here, but the most used one are reachable immediately actually within the call. So when I'm connected to a customer, there is a few things that change in the interface, and that's to bring much more context to the reception. So we can notice on the right side of the interface that the call history is now focused on this particular customer. So we see when this customer called, if we answered this call, or if we missed some of his calls, and they can even check the last call was actually managed or handled by myself later, right? Earlier, sorry. Then in front of every contact in my favorite, but also if I look for a contact, I will see actually in front of it 2 extra buttons that have been added compared to what we have seen earlier. So one will enable me to send the call directly to the contact's voicemail. So if I see, for example, my colleague here, Benjamin, in a meeting or presenting, so I know he will not be able to answer the customer calls, I can decide actually to send the customer directly to his voicemail, or I can decide to do a blind transfer. So I will go ahead and show how we do a blind transfer. So it's very simply one click, I will do my transfer. So it's very handy, very useful. So the customer is put on hold immediately, and then the customer is and then the call is transferred within one click. Very important, and we really focus on making this reachable and available with the minimum action possible from the receptionist. The call transfer is available, of course, using those buttons. It's also available with keyboard shortcuts. It's compatible with screen reader for impaired person. Every action is available with a defined shortcuts. You can also use, if you are more familiar with drag and drops, you can manage call using drag and drops. So I will go ahead and make another call just to show you how it looks like. I'm again in the queue here. Let me answer the call again, and again with the customer, and then if I want to transfer the call to Robert like I just did, so I can just bring the call and then drop it over the contact. One important thing is that the blind transfer is by default with Heedify Attendant Console a secure or safe transfer, meaning that if Robert declines the call, or if the call transfer fails for whatever reason, actually the call is displayed back in the agent interface, so that he can give the proper answer to the customer, or he can transfer it to someone else within the organization. So I will go ahead and do my blind transfer using the drag and drop to Robert. So it's very simply drag and drop, and one action, and the call is being transferred to Rob. Rob will decline this time, so let me just decline the call, and then the call is back to me as an agent, and it's by default on hold, and it's not lost, and I can manage it the proper way with the customer. So just to continue this exercise, so this time I will just park this call. So it's very simply with one button, and then we'll see the call moved from a connected state to the park zone. So anyone in this moment from my colleague can see the call being parked, and then they can handle it. So let me go ahead and show you how we can pick a parked call, and that's, by the way, the same way we pick a call from the queue. So it's one action again, and then I have the call presented back to me as an agent, and then I'm connected again with the consultative call transfer is also a very common scenario with Attendant Console. So I will go ahead and show you how we simplified this scenario also. So I'm calling back my reception line, and this time I will consult Robert before and asking for his permission before transferring the customer call. So My call is again in the queue, so let me go ahead and answer. And probably this time I will not search for Robert by using his display name, so I will search for someone using the filter. So I will search for someone from sales department, and I'm again with Robert. So I have the option to consult Robert with his phone number, so that will make just a note, won't be STN call, but I will do it with Teams, which is probably the most common scenario. So, and then as soon as Robert will accept this, my outgoing Teams call, I can see that he's connected here, and I see another option that appears in the customer call. So that button, with just one click, one action, will let me complete the transfer to my contact, and we will see that customer call transferred with a very few effort from the attendant console from the agent perspective. As you have seen, Heedify Attendant Console from Microsoft Teams is a very simple interface. It brings a lot of information and feature to the receptionist to really simplify their job. It's truly integrated within the Microsoft Teams interface, so it comes with, as you notice it, an advanced queuing system, an intelligent routing engine. There is also call recording available, and it comes also with a comprehensive call reporting based on Power BI. That's what I want to show you here. So a report for an interesting data rotation of 1 year, so that you can really follow up all the KPIs, and then you monitor the reception. An important point also is that this report is by default integrated. So as soon as you create an attendant line with Heedify, so you have, without any integration effort, you have this reporting module integrated, and that will help you monitor the performance of the reception. If you want to explore more Heedify Attendant Console from Microsoft Teams, you can write to sales@heedify.io. Whether you have question about the pricing, or you want to start a trial, and or if you need any assistance, we'll be more than happy to help you get started, to give you all the required information. If you are also a system integrator and you are interested to add Heedify Attendant Console to your offer, so we'll be happy to discuss this together. Once again, thank you very much for watching. We really appreciate that, and hopefully we'll talk to you soon.